Meet our crusty bottom-tier Zoid, a delusional loner who thinks he's some brooding Jon Snow type, when in reality, he's more useless than Joffrey on bath salts. Zero power, zero riz, and not a single soul willing to let him clap. Dude's down so bad, it's like his OnlyFans waifu blocked him right after ghosting him mid-simp session. A young boy stands near the edge of a deep, dark pit. His eyes are sad, and his heart is heavy. He blames himself for being weak. He believes he has no power, no strength, and no meaning in life. A small, broken smile appears on his face as he steps forward. He quietly jumps into the pit, thinking that his birth was pointless. His heart is full of pain. He feels that his entire life was full of bad luck. People always treated him like trash. And now, he believes he will also die like trash. Before he falls, the scene suddenly shifts to the past. It shows how everything became so painful for this boy. In this memory, we see two adventurers, a strong boy, Zoid, who is a swordsman, and a clever girl, Jolene, who is a mage. The two of them work together using their magic and sword skills. They easily defeat a rat monster. After the battle, they cheer for themselves, happy with their teamwork. Then, they turn to someone behind them. This person is the same boy from the pit. His name is Ian. They call him a garbage picker. Ian, carrying many items, tries to correct them. He tells them his name and says he is not a garbage picker. But before he can explain much, he loses his balance and falls down under the weight of their things. The two adventurers laugh at him and say he's useless. Jolene says that Ian is not a high-class person like them. That's why he is so weak. Ian stands up slowly and tries to apologize. He says the items were too heavy. Zoid orders Ian to quickly use his skill and check the monster's body. Ian uses his unique power called appraisal. He then explains that his job is part of the lowest rank in society, called a common job. His skill helps identify items, but it cannot help in battle. Ian remembers how, in this world, people are born with special jobs given by a goddess. These jobs cannot be changed and are passed down through families. There are 3 levels of jobs. First come the rare class, then high common, and lastly low common. Rare class includes important people like merchants and military leaders. High common includes swordsmen and mages, people who can fight. Low common includes jobs like appraisal, which is what Ian has. These people usually stay far from battles. As Ian lost his parents at a young age, because of that, he couldn't take over the family business and had no choice but to become an adventurer. He wants to become rich but feels stuck. Back in the present memory, Ian uses his skill and finds out that the rat monster's teeth are ranked D. That means they are valuable and can be sold for a good price. He tries to take the teeth out, but it's difficult alone. So, he asks his teammates to help open the monster's mouth. Zoid and Jolene get angry. They say it's not their job to do dirty work. Zoid throws a rock at Ian in anger. When Ian looks at him with a sad face, Zoid becomes even more furious. He tells Ian not to look at him like that, and then kicks him very hard. Zoid and Jolene say they risk their lives in battle, while Ian does nothing useful. They tell him he should feel lucky they even allowed him to join their party. Ian apologizes again. Inside his mind, he believes that life is unfair. Even though he doesn't want to, he forces himself to open the monster's mouth. He gets his hands dirty and finally pulls out the teeth. His teammates laugh and say this disgusting task fits him perfectly. Zoid admits that the only reason they took Ian in their team was so he could carry the load and do the filthy work. Ian thinks to himself that he has no choice. If he wants to live, he must accept this treatment. He believes it is all because of his low-class job. They continue walking and find a dead monster lying on the ground. Zoid becomes excited. He tells Ian to collect its parts quickly. He says it's strange because, according to the guild's information, such monsters should not be here. Ian also finds this odd and tries to speak up, but Zoid silences him with another hard kick. He throws Ian forward and tells him to do the work first. Jolene joins in and says they are lucky because these monster parts will make them rich. Ian uses his appraisal skill and starts collecting the valuable items. Later, they find another dead monster. Zoid again tells Ian to collect the parts, but Ian becomes scared. He remembers that the guild's map said this place only has a single hallway. He thinks something is wrong, but Zoid says the map must be wrong and orders him to shut up and work. When Ian tries to warn them again, they get angry. They tell Ian that if he does not listen to them, he should leave. They say they will take all the items he collected and won't give him any money. Ian becomes very nervous. Because of his useless job, no other party wants to accept him. He knows that if he leaves this group, he might starve and die. So, he begs them to let him stay. They move forward and see many more dead monsters. This time, even Zoid looks confused. Ian says something is definitely wrong. He wonders who killed all these monsters and why nobody took their parts. Suddenly, they hear noises. In front of them stand many live monsters ready to attack. All 3 become terrified. Ian realizes that these monsters were the ones who killed the others. Jolene panics and and says the monsters are too many to fight. Zoid tells Jolene to run, and he has a terrible idea of using a paralyzing spell on Ein to slow the monsters down. Without warning, Jolene casts the spell. Ein falls to the ground, unable to move. Zoid tells the monsters to eat Ein while he and Jolene run away. As Ein lies helpless, the monsters attack. He feels terrible pain, but the paralyzing effect wears off just in time. He picks up a stone and throws it. He also empties his bag, and the monsters start eating the fallen food. Using this chance, Ein runs, but Zoid and Jolene have blocked the only exit. Ein becomes trapped. He finds another path and runs that way, but it leads to a dead end with a deep pit. He now has no choice. He is cornered. If he stays, the monsters will kill him. If he jumps, he will die. He blames his worthless job again. He says he should never have dreamed of being an adventurer. He believes this is truly the end. He takes a deep breath and jumps, but something strange happens. The scene shifts. Ein is lying near a tree. A beautiful girl appears and teleports beside him. She kisses him gently on the head. He begins to float. Ein wakes up in shock. His body is fully healed. He looks around and finds himself in front of a huge tree. Drops of water fall from the tree. Ein uses his skill to appraise the water and learns it is World Tree Dew, which can heal any injury. He appraises the tree and realizes it is the legendary World Tree, long thought to be lost. This tree once spread magical energy, mana, across the world. He thanks the tree for saving his life. Suddenly, he hears a girl's voice but sees no one. The place is silent, with no monsters around. He wonders what to do next. There's no food either. He decides to leave. Suddenly, a monster attacks him. It cuts his ear and bites his hand. Ein uses appraisal and learns this monster is ranked S, very powerful. It attacks him again and again. Then, a huge bear appears and kills the monster. But the bear turns to Ein. It attacks, hurting him badly. Just as the bear is about to kill him, a new person appears and slays the bear. Ein hears this person mention someone had asked to kill him, but Ein passes out. When he wakes up, he is healed again and back in the tree area. The same girl is drinking tea in front of him. Ein is shocked. She's beautiful, just like an elf from a fairy tale. The next episode begins with the mysterious girl smiling at Ein. She gently brings him a cup of tea. Ein is surprised to see her kindness. He starts thinking that this girl is very beautiful. As he is lost in her beauty, another person appears. It is actually the girl's mother. She looks strong and a little scary. She tells Ein that her daughter made tea especially for him, and he should be grateful and drink it. The girl becomes shy when her mother says this, and she nervously offers tea to Ein again. Ein is confused and asks who these people really are. The mother becomes angry and tells Ein to just drink the tea quietly. She forces the hot tea toward Ein's mouth. Ein quickly drinks the tea and then says it tastes really good. Hearing this, the girl becomes very happy. Ein starts thinking that the girl is really cute. The girl hears this and becomes even more shy, but her mother warns Ein not to think badly about her daughter. Ein becomes quiet after hearing this. In the next scene, Ein thanks both of them and says that they saved his life. The mother says that she didn't want to save Ein at first, but her daughter Yuri begged her to do it, so she saved Ein only because of Yuri. When Ein hears this, he thanks Yuri for saving him. Yuri becomes shy again and says it was nothing. Seeing this, Yuri's mother becomes angry and kicks Ein very hard. She scolds Ein for calling her daughter so casually. Then she starts hitting him again, but Yuri tells her mother that it is okay and she doesn't mind if Ein calls her by her name. Ein becomes surprised and asks how this lady can be Yuri's mother. The woman introduces herself as Ursula. She says that she is the guardian of the World Tree. She explains that there are 9 World Trees in this world and each one has a guardian. It is their job to protect the World Trees. Ein asks if they live here and Ursula says yes, they live in Yuri's base. Ein gets confused and says that Yuri is a human, but Ursula says no, Yuri is not human. She is actually the spirit of the World Tree. Ein becomes shocked. He looks at Yuri again and says now he understands why she is so beautiful. Hearing this, Yuri becomes very shy and Ursula starts hitting Ein again. She tells him that she did not restore his eyesight just so he could tease her daughter. Ein now remembers that the bear had broken his eyes and he was badly injured, but now he feels completely fine. He asks how this happened. Ursula explains that she used a drop from the World Tree to heal him, but his real eyes couldn't be recovered, so they made an artificial eye for him using a piece of the World Tree. That eye has a spirit and Yuri told Ursula to do it so Ein could see again. Ursula also says that she doesn't usually help humans. Ein becomes emotional and asks Yuri why she helped him so much. Yuri says that it's because Ein thanked her after being saved. Ursula adds that many people have come here before and Yuri helped them too, but no one ever thanked her. When they learned that Yuri was a World Tree spirit, they even broke her branches for their own use. But Ein was different. He made Yuri happy. Ein thanks Yuri again. Yuri blushes and turns red. Ursula tells Ein that his life has been saved, so he should now leave this place. But Yuri stops her mother and says that Ein can't go back because there is too much danger outside. Ursula doesn't care and says it's not her problem. Yuri becomes scared and starts crying. Seeing her cry, Ursula gets worried and asks if Yuri really cares so much about Ein. Yuri says yes. Ursula has no choice now. She decides to help Ein. She tells him that she will give him personal training to become strong enough to leave the dungeon on his own. Ein becomes very happy. He even hugs both Yuri and Ursula. In the next scene, they go deeper into the dungeon. Ein asks if he will be thrown directly into battle, but Ursula says says no. She tells him to look ahead, but it's very dark. Ein says he cannot see anything. Ursula hits him again and tells him to use his left eye, which is now a part of the world tree. Ein remembers that when he lost his sight, Yuri gave him light through the artificial eye. Ein uses the power of his spirit eye and suddenly sees everything clearly. Ursula says his training now begins. She throws a stone at a demon. The demon becomes angry and attacks. Ursula tells Ein to dodge all its attacks. Ein is unsure if he can, but she reminds him that he has appraisal powers. Ein says appraisal only gives small details. Ursula tells him that with a spirit eye, appraisal is much stronger. Ein tries it. When the demon attacks, Ein uses appraisal and sees from which side the attack will come. But he doesn't dodge. The demon attacks and cuts Ein's ear. Ursula tells him that appraisal gives info, but actions are still his job. She throws another droplet from the world tree on him, and his ear is healed. Ein becomes shocked and learns that Yuri gave those droplets. Now Ein becomes serious. He fights the demon again using appraisal and his spirit eye. He learns the timing of the attacks and dodges perfectly. He is happy but gets too excited. The demon attacks again. Ursula scolds him for getting distracted. Ein understands that if he uses appraisal properly, he can change everything. After a week of training, Ein can dodge all the demon's attacks. Ursula is impressed. She gives Ein his second test. He must defeat the monster. Ein says he has no combat skills, so Ursula gives him a wooden sword made from Yuri's branch. She says Yuri gave her permission even though it was painful. Ein promises to keep the sword safe. Ein tries to fight, but the demon dodges his attacks. Ursula tells him to use his spirit eye more deeply. Ein understands and activates super appraisal. Now, he sees the demon's movements very slowly. He finds an opening and attacks. The demon falls. Ein becomes shocked. It's his first victory over a strong monster. Ursula reminds him not to celebrate too soon. There are more demons to defeat. Ein agrees. After defeating them, Ursula tells him to use appraisal and copy the monster's skills. She explains that monsters are born with powers, but humans must learn them. With his spirit eye, Ein can now copy them. Ein copies a super acceleration skill, but feels intense pain. His muscles can't handle it. He collapses. Ursula heals him with droplets and tells him his body must break and grow stronger many times. Ein trains hard for over a month. He runs a lot and becomes stronger. He can now use 1,000 fireballs and mid-level magic. Ursula becomes proud. She says it's time to face the bear again. Ein is scared, but Ursula encourages him. She kicks him forward. Ein uses his fireballs, but misses. He says at least he created smoke. Then he uses super speed and appraisal. He attacks with a windstorm. The bear loses some health, but fights back. Ein reminds himself that even though he is not born a magic user, he can use many spells. He throws many fireballs and finally defeats the bear. Ein is shocked, but realizes something important. The bear was never weak. He has become stronger. Ein now defeats the giant bear monster. After this, he takes all of the bear's abilities. These new powers include very strong muscles and a sharp attack called Steel Cutter. But right after getting these powers, Ein's head starts to hurt again. Ursula explains that it is because he has taken the bear's skills. She tells him to be more confident now. She also says that his training is almost over. Now his job is to defeat all monsters on his way to the surface. After that, Ein returns to Ursula and Yuri. Ursula is now feeling a bit jealous, but she hides her feelings. She gives Ein a gift from Yuri. This gift is a part of the World Tree's spirit core. Ein understands that this is the same item used to make his eye. Ursula tells him she will now use this to make his eye even stronger. At first, Ein feels guilty because the spirit core is the source of Yuri's power, but Ursula says that it is just for borrowing. She also places a magic spell on it. If Ein dies, the spirit core will return. Ursula then tells Ein to close his eyes. She places the spirit core inside his eyes. Ein feels like nothing changes, but Ursula tells him this new power is called the spirit god eye. It will grow stronger over time. Suddenly, Yuri's voice comes from inside his eyes. Yuri appears again in front of Ein. He is surprised and confused. Ursula explains that now the whole world tree spirit is inside his eyes. This means Yuri can now live inside Ein's eyes forever. Yuri happily says that she will help Ein by healing him and staying with him. Ursula becomes a little emotional. She says she has always taken care of Yuri, who never had any friends. She says Ein may be weak, but his heart is kind. That's why she's letting Yuri travel with him. Ursula gives Ein permission to protect Yuri and show her the world. Ein promises to take care of her. As a farewell gift, Ursula gives Ein something new. She places a magic seal on his hand. This is a special spell called infinite storage. Now Ein can keep unlimited physical items in it. She also gives him a special spirit sword made using materials from Yuri. But before giving it, she breaks the old eye and replaces it with a philosopher's stone, linking her mind with his. Now Ursula can see through his eyes anytime. Ein feels nervous because Ursula can now watch everything. Still, he gets ready to leave for the surface. Before Before leaving, he asks Yuri about her dream. Yuri says she wants to find her family, her older and younger sisters. Ursula explains that the world tree was once a big tree with 9 parts. These parts are now hidden in different dungeons. Ein decides that they will travel together and find Yuri's family. As they begin to walk, they come to a dungeon path. Ursula helps by showing the correct direction. She uses her appraising skill to find the way. Suddenly, a big snake monster appears. It is a giant viper. Ein feels surprised and wonders if his spirit god eye can appraise the snake. Ursula says yes. Ein feels happy that he is learning how to use his eye. Ein fights the snake and defeats it. He gets the snake's powers. This time, he does not feel any headache. Yuri says that she healed him, so the pain did not come. Ein feels very grateful to Yuri. He smiles and feels lucky to meet her. Then, Ursula warns that there is still one last trial. To reach the surface, Ein must defeat the boss monster of the dungeon. The boss monster protects the labyrinth core, the source of the dungeon's power. Without defeating the boss, no one can escape. Ein becomes nervous, but Yuri holds his hand to support him. Ursula also motivates him. Ein remembers he is not weak anymore. He is now a strong appraiser blessed by the world tree. They enter the boss room and see a big monster. Yuri goes inside Ein's eyes for safety. Ein runs fast and gets close to the monster. The boss attacks him. Ein uses his strong body and endures the attack. Though he gets hurt, Yuri heals him. He uses poison skills from the snake to hurt the monster. The monster gets angry and regenerates its arm. It attacks many times, but Ein dodges and keeps fighting. Ursula gives him permission to use an ultimate magic spell. Ein uses Nova Strike, a very powerful attack. In one strong hit, the boss monster is destroyed. Ein feels shocked. He can't believe he won. Yuri heals him again, and he thanks her deeply. Ursula tells him to appraise the monster. He gets all of the monster's skills. Then, Ursula tells him to appraise the labyrinth core. When he does, Ursula says that it is just like a spirit core. She uses it to upgrade Ein's eyes to spirit god eye level 2. Now his power becomes even greater. Suddenly, the gate behind them closes. They cannot go back. Ursula says that the path to the world tree is now sealed. No one else can reach it. This makes Yuri safe. Ein feels peaceful and happy. They all go to the surface. On the surface, Zoid tells lies about Ein's death. He says Ein saved them by sacrificing himself. But then, Ein appears. Everyone is shocked. Zoid tries to deny it. Ein tells everyone the truth. Zoid betrayed him and threw him to monsters. The adventurers get angry at Zoid and throw things at him. Ein stops them. He says it's okay because he is still alive. He even thanks Zoid in his heart. If Zoid did not betray him, he would never have met Yuri and Ursula. Everyone sees how much Ein has changed. After that, Ein defeats another dungeon boss and gets more powers. They use another labyrinth core to make his eye even stronger, but they still don't find Yuri's sisters. Suddenly, they see a carriage being attacked. Ein saves the people inside. A girl named Claudia, who is a princess, hugs Ein and calls him her hero. Yuri gets jealous and says that she is Ein's wife. Claudia says she is fine being the second wife. Ursula laughs, happy to see Yuri making friends. Ein also saved a man named Jasper. He is a rich merchant. He asked to marry Ein because of his beautiful eye. Ursula tells Ein to be smart. Jasper knows about the world tree and spirit cores. Ein decides to be friends with him to learn more. Jasper says the remaining spirit cores are in very dangerous places. Ein now promises Yuri that they will find her sisters together. Yuri feels happy and hopeful again. Meanwhile, at the end of the episode, we see a girl smirking. Ein now enters the mysterious dungeon, but suddenly the path behind him closes. Ursula tells him that this wall is not normal. It has a teleportation spell. When Ein touches the wall, it teleports him into the dungeon. To his surprise, he finds himself inside a jungle. He is very confused because he didn't expect a forest inside a dungeon. Ursula explains that this is not a real jungle. It is an illusion, created using powerful magic. Ein is surprised and says the illusion is very strong. Just then, a girl's voice is heard. She speaks to Yuri and says it is nice to meet her again. Yuri comes forward and recognizes the voice. It is her younger sister, Pina. Yuri tells Ein that Pina is cute but very naughty. Pina also notices that Yuri has come with a human. She questions Yuri and says she is waiting at the end of the dungeon. Yuri asks her to teleport them directly, but Pina refuses. She tells them they must come to her on their own. She laughs and warns them that she has filled the dungeon with traps and dangerous monsters. If they are not careful, they could even die. Yuri becomes excited and says she will do her best. Pina teases Yuri and asks if Ein is her boyfriend. Yuri becomes shy and says Ein is not her boyfriend. Ein suggests they move forward together, and for safety, Yuri goes back to Ein's eye. Pina sees this and thinks to herself that Ein looks too confident. She decides to break his confidence using her traps. She also thinks in her mind that she doesn't trust the stranger near her sister. Suddenly, a pit appears under Ein's feet, but Ursula quickly warns him, and he moves away safely. Pina is shocked that her trap failed. Ursula promises to guide Ein through all the traps. Ein carefully moves forward, avoiding every trap. Pina becomes angry because she made the traps with great effort. Ursula and Yuri explain that they are only here to make Yuri happy. Yuri says that Pina always enjoys teasing others, but she does it with love. Pina becomes serious and warns that her traps are deadly. If someone falls into them, they can be thrown out of the dungeon completely. Ein replies that he will not give up. Ursula then tells Ein that a humanoid S-rank monster is coming. The monster appears and uses smoke to put Ein to sleep. Pina laughs and thinks she will win, but Ein doesn't fall asleep. He calmly explains that he has resistance to sleep magic. Pina becomes upset and calls it unfair. Ein replies that he is only doing this for Yuri. He then takes out his sword and attacks the monster, defeating it in one strike. He also absorbs its abilities. But then, invisible monsters attack Ein using stealth. Pina is surprised that Ein is still standing unharmed. Ein reveals he has the power to nullify sneak attacks. Ursula points out the hidden monsters, and Ein uses gravity magic to pull them out and kill them. He absorbs their powers too. Pina is shocked and wonders how Ein is doing all this. He says it's because Yuri gave him her strength. Pina becomes emotional but doesn't give up. She sends two strong monsters toward Ein, but Ein defeats them in one blow again. Pina yells in frustration and asks who he really is. Ein simply says that he is a normal appraiser. Meanwhile, Zoid is also inside the same dungeon, but he is in a very bad condition. A flashback shows that other adventurers had blamed him for using his own teammates as bait. Jolene Aslow lies about him, and everyone throws Zoid out of the guild. Zoid becomes angry and decides to complete a difficult quest alone to rebuild his reputation. He enters the same dungeon, but quickly falls into a trap. Pina welcomes him and tells him to try again. Zoid tries many times, but he keeps getting trapped. Later, a strong monster attacks him. Zoid gets badly injured and almost faints. Suddenly, a mirror-like figure appears and saves him by defeating the monster. Zoid is shocked to see such power. The mirror turns out to be Ein. He heals Zoid and then knocks him unconscious. Ein asks Pina to remove Zoid from the dungeon, and she agrees. Ein now reaches a giant gate. Pina tells him that it is the boss monster's room. Ursula says the labyrinth core must be destroyed to reach Pina. Ein opens the gate and enters, but he cannot see any monster, so he flies into the air to look. Suddenly, the ground moves. It is actually a giant tortoise. Ein attacks with fireballs, but the tortoise takes no damage. It then attacks back. Ein defends and strikes again, but the tortoise still looks unharmed. Ein realizes it is not real. He understands it is another illusion. He uses dispel magic, revealing a tiny, cute, real tortoise inside. Pina admits defeat. Everyone now reaches Pina. Yuri hugs her happily. Pina complains that Ein was too clever. Yuri says that Ein is very kind. Pina teases Yuri about liking him. Yuri gets shy. Then Pina says she wants to join their journey and gives her spirit core to Ein. Yuri agrees, and Ein allows her to come. Just then, the little tortoise on Ein's shoulder transforms into a girl. She introduces herself as Kurohime, daughter of the 4 holy beasts and guardian of Pina. She hugs Ursula and tells Ein she wants to come along too. She gives him a special stone so she can travel with them. Ursula inserts both Pina's spirit core and Kurohime's stone into Ein's artificial eye. It upgrades his spirit god eye. Everyone becomes happy, especially Yuri. Ein also feels proud to see Yuri smiling. He silently promises to find Yuri's remaining 6 sisters no matter what. In the end, Zoid wakes up outside the dungeon. He remembers how a former weak person saved him. He begins to cry from shame and disappointment, realizing how far he has fallen. The next day, Jasper enters the guild along with Ein. As soon as the people inside the guild see Jasper, they become shocked. Everyone starts whispering and talking about him. They all know that Jasper is a very famous and successful merchant. He's well respected, and his presence surprises everyone. The guild receptionist welcomes Jasper and says she will call the guild master. But Jasper tells her not to call the master because he has only come here to help Ein sell his things. Jasper tells her that Ein has collected many items from the dungeon and wants to sell them at the guild. The receptionist agrees and asks Ein for his guild card. Ein gives her the card and she checks it. When she sees that Ein's skill is appraisal and his rank is very low, she becomes angry. She starts doubting him. She thinks that there is no way someone with such a low rank could have defeated dungeon monsters. Other people in the guild also start doubting Ein. They laugh and say that a low-ranked person like him cannot defeat monsters. But Jasper calmly tells Ein to take out the monsters he defeated. Ein then brings out the corpses of many strong monsters. Everyone becomes silent and then shocked. The monsters are real and powerful. It seems impossible that someone so weak could have defeated them. Some people think the monsters are fake. They say the bodies must be made using magic because it's not believable that a commoner could do this. Jasper looks around and says that this is exactly why he didn't want Ein to come to the guild. People always doubt him. Suddenly, the guild master, Megan, arrives. She tells everyone to stop judging someone by their job. Everyone gets shocked to see Megan there. She comes closer to Ein and compliments his sharp eyes, making him feel uneasy. After that, the guild receptionist examines them carefully and finally confirms that they are real. Jasper tells everyone again that Ein defeated the monsters with his own hands. The receptionist becomes embarrassed and apologizes to Ein for doubting him. Megan tells her to treat everyone with respect no matter what their rank is. Then she leaves, saying he will meet them again. After that, the receptionist tells Ein to follow her because they must complete some official steps to register the monsters. Just then, Jasper asks Ein to give him any special item if he found one in the hidden dungeon. The people nearby are shocked when they hear this. They can't believe that Ein cleared a hidden dungeon. In the next scene, Ein is talking a bath when Yuna appears. She tells Ein how beautiful the moon is tonight, and Ein suddenly gets shocked to find her there and runs away from her. Yuna becomes confused and wonders why he's running. Then Pina comes there too. She jokes that maybe Ein is scared after seeing Yuna's body, or that he is acting weird. After a while, Yuna's mother appears and becomes angry. She warns Ein not to look at her daughter in a bad way. Ein becomes very nervous and scared. Later, Ein sits down with Kurahim and they talk about Yuna's other sisters and their guardians. Ein thought there were only 6 spirits, as one of them have said to have disappeared ages ago, but Kurahime tells him there are actually 7. She explains that the first spirit is still alive. She says that spirits do not die. The first spirit's name is Echidna, but it is hard to find her as they don't know where the remaining Yggdrasil dungeons are. But Ein is still determined to find Yuna's other sisters. He will do whatever it takes to reunite Yuna with her family. Later, Megan visits the Jasper to meet and make a request to Ein. She talks about Behemoth, but Ein has never heard of it. So Megan explains that the Behemoth is a very dangerous creature created by the Demon Lord. When the Demon Lord was sealed, the dragon also disappeared, but now it has returned and now attacking the merchants. She gives Ein a mission to defeat the Behemoth. Jasper warns him that this mission is very dangerous and could cost him his life, but Ein agrees to take it. Jasper gets impressed by Ein's courage. In the next scene, Ein is searching for the monster in the desert. Suddenly, the ground shakes and the monster appears. It jumps out from under the sand. Ein quickly takes out his sword to fight. The Behemoth speaks, saying no one has ever defeated it. It tells Ein that magic won't work on it because its body is too strong. The dragon attacks. Ein runs quickly to dodge it. Then he attacks the dragon's tail. The dragon hides in the ground and suddenly comes up again. It catches Ein and tries to swallow him, but Ein enters its mouth and uses a special chant. The dragon's body explodes from the inside. The dragon cries out in pain and says it has never felt anything like this before. It asks what Ein did. Ein explains that he saw the dragon's weak point using his appraisal eye and attacked from the inside. After defeating the dragon, Ein uses his skill to absorb the dragon's power. Everyone is amazed at how strong he has become, but Ein says it's only because of their support that he could do this. Later, Ein visits the royal palace. Princess Claudia apologizes for making him wait and calls herself his second wife, though Ein reminds her that they are not married yet. Claudia then tells him that her father, the king, wants to meet Ein. Ein gets shocked to see the king. The king thanks Ein for saving the kingdom from Behemoth and for protecting his daughter. After a small conversation, the king gives Ein a special coin. With this, Ein can waive access to anywhere he wants. Ein gets happy as he believes it will help him a lot in his mission. The next day, the entire city talks about how Ein defeated the Behemoth. Meanwhile, Zoid becomes angry. He's upset that everyone is only talking about Ein. Just then, a girl appears in front of him, introducing herself as Echidna, a spirit, and she says that she will help Zoid by lending him her strength. Hey Emma, mind helping me with the story from here?
Sure thing, Ken. Meanwhile, we see Yuna wakes up slowly and stretches her arms. She feels happy and says to herself that she had a peaceful sleep. A little later, Pina arrives in the room. She looks cheerful and asks Yuna if she can help her dry her hair. Yuna agrees with a smile and begins drying Pina's hair gently. While doing so, she discusses about Ein as she is worried for him. Pina calmly assures her that Ein is just tired of doing so much work. Then she suggests they should cook something for Ein to make him feel better. Yuna listens and believes it is a great idea. Afterward, Pina tells Yuna it's time for shopping, and Yuna agrees. Back to Zoid, who is sitting in front of Echidna. Echidna, a powerful spirit, offers her help. She says that she is a spirit and has great power. She tells Zoid that with her help, he can take revenge against Ein and defeat him. Zoid listens carefully, clearly interested. At the same time, Ein walks through his past memories. He finds himself lying on the ground in a strange place. He slowly stands up, confused, and realizes that he is surrounded by Zoid's team. Zoid is there too, handing him some money. Zoid tells him that he is doing him a favor, even though Ein's work is worthless and he is nothing more than garbage. He claims that giving him money is a kind act, even though he doesn't deserve it. Suddenly, he sees the memory when a group of wild dogs appeared and attacked him. Looking at himself in a terrible condition makes Ein think about how his life would have ended if he had never met Yuna. He realizes that Yuna saved him from a horrible fate. Suddenly, his body rises again and tells him that he has only become strong because of others. Without the help of the spirit eye, he would still be weak. This voice keeps reminding him that he is nothing on his own and calls him trash, no matter how hard he tries. After that, Ein wakes up from this nightmare. Ursula sits beside him and checks if he is okay. She tells him that he fainted after they met the king, and they brought him to a safe place to rest. Ein says that he is feeling better now, and then he asks about Yuna. Ursula explains that both Yuna and Pina were also worried about him. As Ursula leaves, Ein starts to reflect on his life. He thinks deeply and realizes that he has only become strong because of the people around him, because he met Yuna and the others. Elsewhere, Echidna talks with Zoid. He asks Zoid if he wants revenge, and Zoid says he does. Echidna then asks if Zoid knows about the spirit eye, and explains that Ein's power comes from the real spirit eye inside him. That's why he became so powerful. Zoid listens and says that he always felt something was strange. Ein should not be so strong. Echidna then pulls out a magical eye and puts it into Zoid's body. The eye changes Zoid into a monstrous form. He feels a new surge of power and decides to use it to attack Ein. After that, Zoid walks through the town and meets Jolene. Without hesitation, he attacks and kills her to take his revenge. Meanwhile, Yuna and Pina walk through the market. Suddenly, Yuna stops walking. She feels frustrated and wonders how long others will keep protecting her. She wants to grow stronger and help others instead. Just then, they hear people running screaming as Zoid is causing trouble in the town. A child falls in front of Yuna, badly hurt. Yuna kneels down and uses her healing magic to cure the child. Yuna rushes over to help and heals more people using her water magic. Suddenly, Zoid appears and tries to attack Yuna. Pina steps in front of her and casts a barrier to protect her. However, the barrier is not strong enough, and Zoid breaks through it. He grabs Yuna, and she struggles to break free. Just in time, Ein appears and attacks Zoid, saving Yuna. Ein believes that Yuna is brave and tries to protect others even when she is scared. Zoid becomes angry and attacks Ein. Ein puts up a barrier, but Zoid easily breaks it. Zoid says he also has the power of spirit now. They fight fiercely. Zoid decides to play dirty by discouraging Ein by telling him he is nothing without powers of spirit. Ein begins losing his confidence just when Yuna steps forward and rejects what Zoid is saying. She believes that Ein is strong. Ursula also appears and says that Ein worked very hard and deserves the spirit eye. Yuna says that meeting Ein changed her life, and she wants to meet her family again. Ein now believes he is strong. The evil spirit tries to take control, but Ein defeats it and accepts himself. He remembers how lonely he once felt, but also how everyone helped him become strong. At that moment, his full power is released. Ein's master proudly says that Ein has now unlocked 100% of his power. Before, he could only use 2%, but now he is at full strength. Ein draws his sword, attacks Zoid in his monster form, and defeats him in one blow. When Zoid returns to his human form, Ein saves him, making Zoid question him why he wants to save him despite of him being so cruel to him. Ein says that people don't need a reason to help others, even if they feel weak. In the end, Zoid reaches out his hand, and Echidna watches from a distance. She promises herself that even though she lost this time, she will take revenge soon, as she is determined to revive a mysterious power named Mictoran. It is a calm morning. Ein is quietly drinking tea. Yuri comes to him and she looks shy. She suddenly talks about a special contract ritual between a spirit and a guardian. She explains that the ritual needs a kiss. This makes Ein feel shocked and embarrassed. Ursula also joins the room and explains that the connection between Ein and Yuri will not become strong unless the kiss happens. She also says that if this connection stays weak, then it will affect Yuri's power and magic badly. After hearing this serious explanation, Ein finally agrees to do the ritual. Ursula tells him that now his abilities are fully awakened and he is completely connected with Yuri as a guardian, but he still needs to complete the ritual to make the connection even stronger. Ein nervously thinks about kissing Yuri's hand. Suddenly, Pina and Kurohime enter the room. They both tease Ein and make fun of him. Ein feels even more uncomfortable and nervous. He tells them not to stare or else he cannot focus. Ursula scolds the girls and sends them away. Now, only Ein and Yuri remain in the room. Yuri comes closer and brings her face forward for the kiss. Ein starts shaking because he only planned to kiss her hand, not her lips, but he gathers courage and moves forward. Sadly, he slips. Because of the slip, he accidentally kisses Yuri's forehead, but even this kiss is enough to complete the ritual. Ein's connection with Yuri becomes strong and he levels up. Yuri feels very happy and says she feels like she is in heaven. In the next scene, Echidna arrives inside a demon castle. She talks with a demon called Baron Falco. She tells tells him that she brings orders from the Demon King. The order is to kill a boy, and the boy is none other than Ein. Falco shows no interest and says the boy seems too weak to worry about. Echidna warns him not to underestimate the boy. She says that the boy has already defeated a powerful ancient dragon behemoth very easily. Falco laughs and says that ancient dragons are only a little stronger than regular monsters. He says demons are much stronger than ancient dragons. After more pushing, Falco finally agrees to go and kill the boy. He uses a portal and moves quickly toward the human world. He believes his special skill gives him very high speed that no human eyes can see. Soon, Falco reaches Ein and introduces himself as a high-ranking noble demon. He declares that he will now kill him, but Ein tells him to speak more quietly because others are sleeping. This makes Falco angry. He charges at Ein, but Ein slaps him with full power. Falco flies away and becomes weak from just one slap. Ein then finishes him off with another attack and defeats him easily. Later, Ein and Yuri arrive at a castle and meet Claudia. She is very happy to see Ein. She learns that Ein wants to go to the Forbidden Library. She takes them to the door of the library. Claudia says she cannot go further because she doesn't have permission. Ein thanks her for guiding them. Ein enters the library using the king's watch as permission, but Yuri cannot enter because an invisible barrier stops her. Ursula arrives and tells them their link is broken. She tries to teleport but fails. She says there is a strong magic barrier stopping her too. Ein gets worried but decides to go alone. Yuri tells him to be careful. Inside the library, Ein sees thousands of books. He feels confused and wonders how he will find the right one. Suddenly he sees someone falling and quickly catches her. The girl thanks him. She tells Ein her name is Alice and that she is the librarian here. She also knows everything about the books in the library. Ein explains that he is looking for information about hidden dungeons. Alice asks why he wants it. He says he wants to help his friend meet her family. Alice gives him a book and says the information is inside. Ein thanks her. Then Alice suddenly asks about Yuri. Ein becomes surprised and asks how she knows Yuri. Alice says she can see Yuri's spirit core in Ein's left eye. She also reveals that she is a spirit of Yggdrasil. Later, Ein visits the place mentioned in the book, but he finds no hidden dungeon. Yuri says Alice would not lie. Ein agrees and decides to go talk to her again. Alice watches them secretly using her skill. Her mother, Akahane, asks why Alice gave the wrong book. Doesn't she want to meet with her sisters? Alice explains she is scared to go outside. She hates humans because they killed her older sister, Echidna. Akahane tells her Ein is not like other people. She tells Alice to trust him. We then see a flashback of the conversation between Ein and Alice. Ein feels shocked to learn she is a spirit. Akahane appears and says she is Alice's guardian. Ein asks Alice if she wants to meet Yuri and Pina, but Akahane says they are in a hidden dungeon linked to the castle. Only people with both Alice and the king's permission can enter. If only one of Yuri or Alice tries, the barrier will break. Ein tells Alice he understands she is scared, but promises to support her. Alice becomes emotional. She slowly starts to trust Ein. Later, Alice tells Ein that she wants to go outside. Akahane sends her copy with Ein because she cannot teleport herself. Ein fights monsters and brings Alice out safely. Now Alice meets Yuri and Pina. Yuri happily hugs Ein to thank him. Seeing this, Alice feels a little awkward. Pina notices this and teasingly hugs Ein too. She loudly says she loves him and jokes more. Alice hugs Ein too. Suddenly, Pina begins to tease Ein, asking him if he likes Alice. All the girls now ask the same question, and Ein feels nervous and trapped. All the girls around Ein are asking him the same question again and again. They want to know if Ein really likes Alice. This question makes Ein feel very uncomfortable. He gets nervous and tries to escape from all the girls. To hide from them, he goes to the sauna, but the girls follow him there too. Even in the sauna, they continue asking the same question about Alice. Ein again tries to escape, but the girls stop him. Then Ursula steps in and scolds the girls. She says it's not right to force Ein like this. After hearing Ursula's words, the girls finally stop asking that question. But now, Ein faces a different problem. He can't stop looking at the girls because they all look very attractive in the sauna. On top of that, Pina is sitting on Ein and playfully teasing him. This makes Ein even more uncomfortable. After spending a little more time in the sauna, Ein starts to feel dizzy and weak, so he decides to leave. But suddenly, Alice falls on top of him. She looks even worse than Ein and is feeling very weak. Ein tells her to go out, but Alice says that she also wants to try as hard as everyone else. She wants to be with Ein no matter what. Later, Akahane gives Ein a sage stone. She explains that she cannot teleport to help him, but with this stone, Ein can use her abilities even from far away. She hopes it will be helpful to him. Then, Ursula uses her power to place Akahane's sage stone and Alice's spirit inside Ein's eyes. Alice walks toward Ein, but her foot slips. She falls and accidentally pulls down Ein's underwear while trying to stop herself. herself. This surprises everyone, especially Yuri. After this, the scene changes. Jasper and Megan come to meet Ein. They tell him that the king has sent a special quest to the guild. The king wants Ein to complete this quest. Megan explains that a long time ago, a hero from the human world defeated the demon race and pushed them out of their world, but now they seem to be returning. Jasper says they want Ein to fight the demon's sons because ordinary adventurers cannot fight them. Ein agrees to take the quest, but then Ursula comes and questions him. She says they already have their own mission. She asks why he is helping strangers. Ein reminds her that when they first met, she and the others helped him even though he was a stranger. If they hadn't saved his life back then, he wouldn't have become this strong. He wants to do the same for others now. After hearing this, the other girls also arrive and agree with Ein. They all support his decision. Ursula finally accepts it and allows Ein to go on this new quest. The scene then shifts to a place inside the Rayik territory. A group of people, including a little girl and her father, are walking together. The girl says she is hungry, and her father tells her they will soon reach a place where they can eat a lot of food. The girl becomes happy and asks if that place will be like heaven, where her mother has gone. The father becomes sad, but tells her yes, it will be just like heaven. All the people in the group look tired and sad. They reach a special place and bow their heads. The father tells the girl that they are going to meet the serpent god, Lord Hydra, but in truth, Lord Hydra is not a god, but a demon. Another man tells the father to sacrifice his daughter. The father agrees and tells his daughter to go to Lord Hydra. The girl happily walks toward Hydra, but before she can be sacrificed, she says something very touching. She knows what's going on. She tells her father to promise that he will not cry after she's gone, because she will not be there to wipe his tears. The father realizes that his daughter understands everything. He runs and grabs her, begging Lord Hydra to take his life instead. The people watching this become very disturbed. Lord Hydra becomes angry. He says that they had a deal, one girl every month in return for protecting the village. Since they broke the deal, everyone will die. Lord Hydra uses a poison attack. Everyone except the little girl falls to the ground and starts dying. Just when Hydra moves forward to eat the girl, Ein arrives and stops him. Ursula quickly tells Ein that this monster uses poison attacks. Ein asks Yuri for help. With one powerful healing spell, Yuri saves everyone. Hydra is shocked to see this. Ein realizes that because his divine eye is stronger now, Yuri's healing also became more powerful. Then Ein uses his sword and makes just one attack. With that, Hydra is completely cut into pieces and dies. The villagers are shocked. They recognize Ein as the legendary hero who defeated the behemoth. They thank him for saving their lives. Ein then says he wants to meet the lord of this place. The villagers suddenly look sad. They say that if Ein had not come, they would have died, but maybe it would have been better if he never came at all. This surprises Ein. Before leaving, the little girl thanks Ein. Later, Ein meets the lord of Rayik territory. His name is Nigun. Ein asks him about demons, but Nigun lies and says there are no demons here. He tells Ein to go and report that everything is safe. Ein says maybe the people confused the monster with a demon and mentions that he killed a Hydra. Hearing this, Nigun drops his tea and becomes very scared. Nigun says Hydra was protecting the village, and now that Hydra is dead, the village is in danger again. Ein says it's wrong to sacrifice children for protection, but Nigun believes if one child can save everyone, it is the right thing to do. Then he gives Ein a choice: stay forever and protect the village, or leave and let monsters attack. Ein becomes confused and upset. He doesn't know if what he did was right or wrong. Yuri comes and tells him to trust himself and follow what he believes is right. Meanwhile, Nigun stands in front of a mirror and talks to someone called Shadow. He asks what he should do now. Shadow tells him not to worry about Hydra, they can find a replacement, but Shadow warns that Ein is not human, he is a demon. No human can defeat an S-rank ancient dragon, so if Nigun wants to protect the territory, he must kill Ein. Nigun agrees. After Nigun leaves, Shadow smiles and says it is easy to control weak humans. Soon, Shadow plans to take control of Nigun's body. In the final scene, Ein visits the border area of the territory. It looks terrible. There are no soldiers to protect it. Ein tries to talk to the people, but they ignore him. He thinks they are afraid of Nigun. One man finally talks to Ein. He is one of the people Ein saved earlier. He shows Ein the destroyed land. Since Hydra's death, monsters have attacked and all the crops are ruined. If this continues, the villagers will either starve or be eaten by monsters. Ein uses his abilities and quickly grows fresh green crops in the field. Then he goes to the border and uses another ability to build a strong wall. This will stop the monsters from entering the village. He tells the man that he is ready to help more and asks him not to give up. The man laughs and says he never thought he would hear such words again. He tells Ayn that the previous lord, Nigun's father, also said the same thing. A short flashback shows how the former lord bravely helped the people and motivated them. Back in the present, the man says the previous lord was kind and strong. Things only got worse when Nigun became lord. Nigun made a deal with Hydra, reduced defense, and increased taxes. Anyone who opposed him disappeared. The man thanks Ayn and says he now has hope again. Ayn becomes emotional and promises not to break his trust. Suddenly, a very large army of dangerous monsters starts moving toward the village. Ayn uses his sensing skill and quickly understands the threat. He becomes serious and promises himself that he will protect the village. No matter how many monsters come, he will not allow even one of them to hurt the villagers.
Hey guys, I know I'm interrupting the video, but I'm just here to remind you that most of you guys watching this video are not actually subscribed to the channel. So if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure you click that subscribe button and hit the notification bell for more updates in the future. Now let's get straight back into the video.
When the villagers see the huge monster army, they feel scared and hopeless. They believe that this is the end and the monsters will destroy them all. At that moment, Ayn remembers the small village girl who thanked him for saving her life. He also remembers the man who started hoping again after talking to him. These memories give Ayn great courage. Ayn jumps into the sky and begins flying above the monster army. He attacks them with his powerful magic, but because there are so many monsters, his attack does not defeat them all. Some monsters try to jump up and attack him, but Ayn uses his skills and defeats them easily. He keeps attacking the monster army again and again, pushing them back and making sure they do not get near the village. Meanwhile, the villagers try to escape, but the same man who talked to Ayn earlier turns around to watch the fight. He sees how strongly Ayn is fighting all alone. Slowly, other villagers also stop running and begin watching Ayn. They are surprised to see his strength and how he is defeating the monsters with great skill. Ayn then takes out his sword. He starts increasing his attack range to make one very big special attack. Ursula warns him that increasing the attack range too much is dangerous for his body, but Ayn keeps going. He knows he must do everything to protect the village. Now the monsters surround Ayn from all sides. At that moment, he finally releases his attack. It is very strong and cuts down all the monsters at once. With this one move, Ayn wins the battle. Just then, Yuri comes and tells Ayn that he has won, but Ayn feels extremely tired. His body cannot take the stress, and he falls unconscious. Yuri quickly uses healing drops on him and helps him recover. After healing, Ayn feels better and thanks her. He then asks about the safety of the villagers. The small village girl whose life Ayn saved earlier runs and hugs him. Other villagers also come to him and thank him for saving them. The same man who admired Ayn now speaks to the villagers. He tells them that even though Ayn is a stranger, he risked his life to protect them, but the villagers themselves did nothing and just accepted their fate. Hearing this, the villagers become emotional. They start to feel ashamed. They realize they do not want to live a weak life anymore. They decide to fight for their own future and stop blaming their destiny. Ayn feels very happy to see this change in their hearts. Yuri tells Ayn that this change is only because of his efforts. Suddenly, Nigun appears. He hears the villagers talking and asks if they are talking about him. The villagers look nervous, but they bravely tell Nigun that they will no longer follow him because he never protected them. Ayn did. Nigun becomes angry and tries to turn the villagers against Ayn. He tells them that Ayn is not a human, but a demon. He says no normal human can defeat monsters or kill a Hydra like Ayn did. Nigun claims that Ayn has a secret plan to take control of the territory. But this time, the villagers do not believe him. They say even if Ayn is a demon, he is still better than Nigun. Nigun becomes shocked by their words. He says everything he ever did was for protecting the territory. But the villagers reply that they do not want a leader who sacrifices them. They want a leader who fights with them, like Nigun's father once did. Hearing this, Nigun remembers his father and suddenly feels sharp pain in his head. He calls for help from Shadow, his imaginary friend. Nigun is confused and opens a small mirror. Ayn uses his appraisal skill on the mirror, but he cannot see any information because the mirror has a concealment spell. Shadow now talks to Nigun and tells him to kill the villagers. He says Nigun does not need people who do not listen to him. Shadow tells Nigun to do what he once did to his father. Nigun gets confused. Just then Shadow replies that he will now tell him the truth. Then a flashback begins. In the past, Nigun wants to be like his father, who helps everyone, but Nigun is weak and sick, and and other children avoid him. One day, Nigun hears people say that he is not his father's real son, but an orphan. He becomes sad and runs away. While crying, he meets Shadow in the water. Shadow tells Nigun that he is his imaginary friend. They spend time together. Later, Nigun sees his father is tired from fighting a monster. Shadow tells him about a special herb that can remove tiredness. Nigun uses it daily to make tea for his father, but his father's condition becomes worse. One day, his father dies. Back in the present, Nigun asks Shadow what the truth is. Shadow reveals that he used magic to change the book. The herb was actually poison. Nigun unknowingly killed his father. Shadow also admits that he is the real demon, not Ayn. Nigun becomes emotionally broken. Shadow uses this moment to fully take control of Nigun's body. Ayn watches and realizes something is wrong. He asks who Shadow really is. Shadow reveals that he is a 5th rank noble demon. Shadow completely takes control of Nigun's body. Ursula explains to Ayn that Shadow is using a special skill called demon concealment. Because of this skill, Ayn cannot use his appraisal skill to learn anything about Shadow's powers. Ayn asks where Nigun is, but Shadow laughs and says that he is already standing in front of him. He says Nigun was too weak, so it was easy for him to take over. He only played a little with Nigun's mind, and then fully controlled his body. Ayn gets angry after hearing all this. Shadow tells Ayn that he is also part of the reason why this happened. Shadow made the defense of Rayik territory weak and started sending people into the demon world, but then Ayn appeared and killed Hydra, which ruined Shadow's plan. So now, Shadow says he must kill Ayn himself. Shadow believes Ayn cannot hurt him because he is inside Nigun's body. If Ayn kills Shadow, Nigun will also die. Shadow attacks Ayn, but Ayn dodges the attacks and tries to trap Shadow in a barrier. However, Shadow breaks the barrier easily using anti-spirit arts. He says demons know these arts, and spirit-based attacks do not work on them. Shadow then summons many monsters, and these monsters start attacking innocent people. Ayn quickly uses his skills to protect everyone from the monsters. Suddenly, Shadow tricks Ayn and hits him by surprise. He says he is bored and begins to attack Ayn again with many powerful moves, but Ayn blocks all of them using one strong skill. The skill stops all attacks, but now Ayn cannot move. Ayn is not moving because he does not want to hurt Nigun. Seeing this, Shadow laughs and calls Ayn foolish. Shadow says that if Ayn kills both him and Nigun, he can save the rest of the people, but Ayn refuses to sacrifice one person to save others. He believes Nigun is still inside the body and can be saved. Shadow says Nigun's mind is completely gone. He says that no matter how loud Ayn yells, Nigun will not hear him. Shadow attacks again. This time, Ayn does not block any hits. He moves forward and takes all the damage with his body. Ayn gets hurt badly, but keeps moving. He grabs Shadow by the collar and says that he will save both Nigun and the villagers. Then, Ayn gives Shadow a strong headbutt, which knocks Shadow to the ground. Inside the body, Nigun is sitting sadly. He feels guilty because his body caused pain to many people. He thinks it would be better if he disappears, but then he hears Ayn's voice calling to him. Ayn tells him to open his eyes and protect Rayik territory like his father once did. Nigun remembers his childhood. He remembers how people respected his father and how he once wanted to protect people's smiles. He realizes that he must take responsibility for his mistakes. Nigun begins to fight back from inside. When Shadow tries to attack again, he suddenly stops moving because Nigun takes back control of his body. Nigun thanks Ayn and quickly stabs his chest with a dagger to kill both him and Shadow. Shadow leaves Nigun's body and tries to escape by jumping toward a nearby child, but Ayn throws his sword and kills Shadow just in time. Ayn tries to heal Nigun using Yuri's magic, but the healing does not work. Ayn starts feeling hopeless. Yuri then steps forward and uses all her power to heal Nigun. Ayn also helps her. Together, they manage to heal Nigun completely. When Nigun wakes up, Ayn and Yuri hug him with relief, but Nigun feels he does not deserve to live. He says he should have died because of his sins. Ayn reminds him that nobody should be sacrificed, including him. Soon, the villagers arrive and say that they do not want to become like Shadow by sacrificing someone. They say Nigun must live and take responsibility for his actions. Nigun feels thankful to everyone. Suddenly, Yuri starts to fall from exhaustion. Ayn catches her. She says she is fine, but just tired. Ayn thinks Yuri used too much energy while saving Nigun. He helps her sit under a tree. He starts thinking that being weak is not a sin. He remembers how he and Zoid were once weak too. Now, Ayn decides to never forgive any demon who takes advantage of people's weakness. Later, Ursula and Yuri's sisters arrive. Alice notices something strange. Even after taking so much damage, Shadow is still alive. He tries to crawl away, but Pina traps him using barrier magic. She says Shadow was trying to escape. Ayn asks Shadow who ordered him to kill. Shadow says he will tell everything, but asks Ayn not to kill him. Ayn promises not to harm harm him. Shadow begins to tell the name of the person who gave the order, but before he can say it, he explodes. Ursula says a spell must have been placed on him to stop him from sharing the truth. The villagers thank Ein for saving them. Nigun asks Ein to stay in Rayik territory and protect the people. The villagers also request Ein to become their protector. Later, Ein goes to meet the king. The king says that Nigun himself has requested Ein to become the lord of Rayik territory. The king makes the offer and Ein accepts it. Jasper says becoming a lord will help Ein get more connections and hidden dungeon information. Ein thinks he wanted to support the territory anyway, but now he will become a noble too. Just then, Princess Claudia jumps on Ein and says their dream of marriage may come true. Yuri also says she wants to marry Ein. Alice becomes jealous. Pina teases Alice and says it looks like her competition is getting bigger. The next scene starts inside the demon world. Two low-level demons are talking to each other. One demon says that a human boy has defeated both Shadow and Falco. He feels that noble demons are not as strong as they claim to be. Suddenly, something very fast cuts off this demon's head. The attacker is Loana. She is the leader of the 5 noble demon clans. The second demon becomes very scared. Loana sits on a dead man's body and holds his head. She says her old toy is broken and not useful anymore. Then she tells the scared demon that she might make him her new toy. The demon starts trembling in fear, but Yuna changes her mind. She says she will not choose him because his hair falls too much. She then orders him to clean up the mess quickly. At the same time, Echidna is looking at Ein through a magical crystal. Loana appears and notices her. She teases Echidna, saying that it seems she is very interested in Ein. Echidna agrees. She says she is interested because Ein has very special eyes. Loana reminds her that even if he is strong, he is still just a human. Echidna says that Ein has strong powers because he defeated Shadow and Falco. Loana then says that she will go and check everything herself. Echidna gives her a map and requests her to catch the spirit of Yggdrasil. She explains that Ein's goal is to meet this spirit, so he will definitely appear there. Loana opens a portal to the human world and says she will kill Ein and capture the spirit. Before leaving, she notices her servant is already dead. She finally steps through the portal toward the human world. Next, Alice talks to Ein. She says she has been using her 1,000-mile eye skill to search for Yggdrasil. She wants to meet her sisters and also help Ein in his mission. Suddenly, a mysterious girl appears and calls out to her sisters. Yuri runs toward her happily, but passes right through her body. The girl laughs and says she forgot that she is only a projection, not her real body. Ein looks shocked. Pina explains that the girl is their second eldest sister. The girl introduces herself as Kirsch and says she is happy to meet Ein. Ein introduces himself too and says he is working with Yuri. Alice then says they should talk about the important matter. Kirsch agrees. She explains that a demon is attacking her Yggdrasil. She wants Ein's help. Ein immediately agrees and asks for the location. Kirsch tells him that the enemy is not after her sister's Yggdrasil, but after hers, and that May is her youngest sister. Alice adds that when she was using her power, she found May's Yggdrasil instead. Ein says that May must be protected by a guardian demon right now. Kirsch reveals that May's guardian is already dead, so she is now protecting both May and the spirit of Yggdrasil alone. Kirsch then says that her real body is with May, and she is talking to Ein using a projection. Alice asks if the enemy is so strong that even Kirsch's evil eye cannot defeat him. Kirsch says she can defeat the demon with full power, but if she does that, May's home and the surrounding area will be completely destroyed. Her power is too dangerous to control. Ein asks if Kirsch has sealed the enemy using her mask. Kirsch confirms that is true. Ein then promises that he will come and help them soon. He asks her to hold off the enemies a little longer. Kirsch smiles and says now she understands why her sisters like Ein so much. She says she will be waiting for him. Now the scene changes. Ein enters a dark forest. It is actually a hidden dungeon. Using Alice's 1,000-mile eye and his own appraisal skill, he starts moving fast in the right direction. Suddenly, Ursula warns Ein to stop. Ein looks up and sees a demon above him. This demon is controlling bee-like monsters. She introduces herself as Countess Hornet, a noble demon. She says Ein must prepare to die. Hornet sends all her bee monsters to attack Ein, but Ein suddenly disappears and reappears behind her. He cuts through her body with his sword, but this does not kill her. Many more bee monsters start coming out of her body. Hornet says that she has hidden herself among the bees and asks if Ein can find the real her. Ein replies that he does not need to find her. He will simply destroy them all. He attacks all the bees with a rain of powerful strikes. Hornet becomes scared and tries to escape. She runs and finds a portal, but just as she is about to enter it, Loana appears beside her. Hornet is shocked and terrified. Before she can explain anything, Loana kills her instantly, saying she is tired of dealing with fools, but at least Hornet helped her reach Ein. Now Ein is standing behind Loana. She turns and introduces herself. She says she is Loana, the head of the 5th rank noble demons. Ein realizes she is much stronger than Hornet and the demon Kirsch warned him about. Suddenly, Ein appears behind her and uses his level drain skill to weaken her. He then punches her again and again. After a long beating, Loana starts laughing. She says it has been a long time since someone made her bleed. She is enjoying this fight. She attacks Ein using firepower. She believes her attack cannot be blocked, but Ein blocks it and sends the attack back to her. Loana is shocked. She cannot believe he countered her move. She wonders if she is really this weak just because of one level drain attack, but Ein explains that he used level drain every time he hit her, so he does not even remember how many times he used it. That's why she is now weaker than a normal monster. Loana is furious. She says she is one of the top 5 nobles. She says her power is a gift, and she cannot lose to a human like him. She says she would have won if Ein didn't use such cowardly tactics. Then she opens a portal and escapes. Ein is about to chase her, but Ursula stops him. She says Ein must protect Kirsch and May first. Ein agrees. Alice then shows him the way. Together, they reach a secret place where Kirsch and May are hiding. Ein asks if this place is really a good hiding spot, as it looks valuable. Alice says this place is covered by spirit power, so no one can see it with normal eyes. Ein asks if he can see it because he has spirit eye. Suddenly, the path opens and they go inside. It is very beautiful. The 3 sisters come out from inside Ein's eyes. Kirsch happily hugs her little sisters. They enjoy some happy moments. Pina and Kirsch tease Alice a little. Ein says he is happy Kirsch is safe. Then he asks where May is. Kirsch says she is sleeping over there. Ein quietly goes to see May. She is a very small girl. Ein whispers to himself that he should not disturb her, but as he turns to leave, he accidentally steps on a stick. The sound wakes May up. She sees a stranger and starts crying loudly. Ein also becomes very nervous. May suddenly sees Ein standing very close to her. She gets scared and starts crying loudly. Tears come out of her eyes again and again, and her crying becomes louder. Ein, who wants to make her smile, makes a funny face to cheer her up. But instead of feeling better, May becomes even more scared. She screams and cries even louder because she finds Ein's funny face very scary. At that moment, Yuri comes forward. As soon as May sees Yuri, she stops crying and runs to hug her happily. She feels safe and peaceful with Yuri. May then meets all her other sisters too. She becomes very happy after seeing them all together again. Ein looks at her and says that he feels happy that May finally stopped crying. But then May quickly points at Ein and tells Yuri to be careful because he is the same person who attacked them from outside. She still doesn't trust him. Yuri gently tells May that she is making a mistake. She says that Ein is actually a good person who saved her from the demon who was trying to hurt her. May realizes her mistake and says sorry to Ein. Ein smiles and says that she doesn't have to apologize. He admits that he did surprise her, which made her scared. Then May keeps looking at Ein for a while. She slowly walks to him and sits on his lap. She asks Ein to pat her head. Then she asks him to play with her and bounce her up and down. As Ein begins bouncing her gently, May keeps shouting with excitement, asking to go higher. Ein listens to her and makes her jump higher and higher, but by mistake, he makes her jump too high. The other sisters become worried. They think May will get scared again and start crying loudly. Everyone knows that once May starts crying, it becomes very hard to calm her down. But something different happens this time. When Ein lands back on the ground with May, she doesn't cry. Instead, she laughs loudly and happily. She enjoys the high jump and feels very excited. Seeing May so happy makes all the sisters feel relaxed and joyful. Then, May happily says that they all should go together from this place. Ein turns to Kirsch and asks for her opinion. Kirsch tells Ein not to worry and says she will stay behind to protect this place. But Ein says he is not asking about her duty. He wants to know if she personally wants to come with them. Kirsch smiles and says she does want to join them. So Ein tells her that she does not need to worry because he will leave one of his clones behind along with a barrier to protect the place. Kirsch feels very thankful and gives Ein her and May's spirit cores. Later, when Ein talks with Ursula, he shares his feelings. He tells her that before, he used to hate himself and had no self-confidence. His heart was full of sadness and darkness. But now, seeing happiness on Yuri's and others' faces gives him a new purpose. He says that he now wants to protect that happiness forever. He also says that this is the first time he has learned what it really means to love oneself. Ursula thinks about Ein's journey and how much he has grown as a person. She becomes emotional while remembering how much he has changed. Then, Ein gives his spirit core to Ursula. She inserts Kirsch's and May's powers into his spirit eye. Because of this, Ein becomes even stronger. Now Ein's spirit eye reaches a new level. He can see people's aura clearly. Kirsch explains that with his evil eye, he can now make things disappear, but this new power is hard to control. Also, no one knows what kind of side effects it might have. May then shows Ein her new power. She can now control trees and plants. Ein is very impressed. He thinks this power is very useful, and he will be able to use it smartly in future battles. Ursula then explains something important. She says that high-level demons can hide or control their aura. Iona, the demon, thought Ein was too weak, so she did not even use her aura against him. Ursula also tells Ein that the sword he carries has a secret power. When Ein hits a demon with that sword, the demon's aura will get absorbed into Ein. This will make him stronger. Ein thanks Ursula, because she was the one who gave him that sword. Then the scene changes. In the demon world, the strongest demons are now planning something dangerous. They gather together with Echidna to make a plan to kill Ein. After that, we see a castle that used to belong to Negan, but now Ein and his friends have moved in. Everyone starts cleaning the castle. They divide themselves into pairs so the work can be finished quickly. After finishing his part of the cleaning, Ein walks around to help others. While doing that, he sees Yuri. In that moment, Yuri looks very beautiful. Ein's eyes stay wide open, and he keeps staring at her without saying anything. Yuri notices this and asks Ein if he has finished his cleaning. Ein, feeling a little shy, says yes. Then he asks her why she's wearing those beautiful clothes. Yuri explains that they found nice dresses while cleaning the dressing room, so they decided to throw a welcome party for Kirsch and May. She asks Ein if she looks good in her dress. Ein, still shy, says that she looks really cute. Yuri feels very happy hearing this. She grabs Ein's hand and takes him outside. When they step out, Ein sees that all the girls are dressed up beautifully. Each girl looks very pretty, but Kirsch looks especially hot. Ein feels shocked by so much beauty. In his mind, he thanks God for sending him to this world. Ein tells everyone that they all look very beautiful. Alice blushes a lot when she hears this. Pina, another girl, tells Ein that he should also change his clothes now, but Ein says it's okay and that he doesn't need to change. Yuri feels a bit sad when she hears this. Ursula becomes angry and hits Ein until he agrees to wear something nice. Finally, Ein also dresses up and now looks very handsome. Yuri smiles and says he looks just like a prince. Alice is now so shy that she can't even look directly at Ein. May happily says that she chose these clothes for Ein and asks if her fashion choice is the best. Ein thanks May for picking such nice clothes for him. Yuri again takes Ein's hand and invites him to dance, but Ein says he doesn't know how to dance. Seeing Yuri so close to Ein makes Alice feel a little uncomfortable. Yuri notices this and invites Alice to join the dance too. Then Kurohime starts the music and everyone dances together. They all enjoy the party a lot. After the party ends, Ein and Yuri talk. Yuri says thank you to Ein for helping her meet everyone again. Ein promises to help her meet all her sisters. Yuri believes in him and says this is the happiest moment of her life. She wishes it would never end. Ein promises that as long as Yuri and her sisters stay together, every new day will be better than the last. He also says he will make sure they always stay happy. Yuri becomes emotional, and with this heartfelt moment, the season 1 of this anime ends.
And that was the ending. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys in the next one.
See you next time!